Wait, what is happening?
We're going to record a promo
We're
right
about
now.
to record an advert.
We're going to record an
Okay.
advert. Hi, we're the D&D show, the Dungeons and Dragons. No,
Fuck
somebody
it,
else's
no,
go.
job done.
We are a Dungeons and Dragons actual play podcast, though sometimes we don't play Dungeons and Dragons. Sometimes we play other games like Call of Cthulhu. That's about all we've done so far. Scratch that. Take 4. Hi.
Oh, you're a dickhead. You're a dickhead.
Hi, my name's Luke. I'm the host of a podcast called The Dice and Die Show.
What do you do?
Well, largely we just play D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, but sometimes some other stuff too. We also talk shit for half an hour, talking about films, movies. They're the same as films, really. But yeah, we talk about we play Dungeons and Dragons. It's an actual play podcast. If that's your thing, then check us out. The Dice and Die Show, D&D show. Give us a listen. See what you think.
Boom.
That is one of the
I'm
most
sure I
confusing
can-
promos I've ever heard in my entire life.
Welcome to Direcast. Are you lost? Here at Direcast, our group of 6 background characters play different RPGs, bringing in a new game and system every few weeks. Today, however, we are not 6, we are 4. Dramatic poses. Oh, 4. We are doing a bonus episode due to some scheduling problems, and Matt and Peter could not make it, so your 4 favourite people are here, I assume.
I'm a favourite.
Yay! My name is Lukey, and I'm not going to be explaining what game we're playing this week because it's a game H has designed. So, H, would you like to explain the game and then we'll do the question?
So, once upon a time, I had lots of work to do and I was procrastinating on Twitter. As I scrolled down, I saw a great tweet from someone called Chris B, Loot the Room, whose handle is @pangalactic. And the tweet went as such. A story game called NPCs, where you play people drinking in a tavern, people watching, and making up wild stories about the heavily armed adventurers who occasionally come crashing through the door, acting like they're the most important people in the room. So, I've taken that tweet and I've made it into a game.
Yay!
So, @Crispy, if you're out there.
We will
Thanks.
tweet you.
Chris seems to be like a proper creator in their own right, so I'm sure he's too
We
busy
will
to
tweet
listen
you
to
a
us. But
PDF.
great idea. So basically, I kept this really simple, and I said it's like game for 3 to 6 people because we're 6 people, and they usually say 3 to 5, but screw that. You need 2d6, or we might be changing that up because I got really confused with numbers.
You need 1 d10
like-
and 1 d6.
Yes.
Except that's not going to work.
Yeah.
What?
We'll figure it out in a minute. This is a playtest, guys. Playtest. And a
It's
1-minute
based on
timer.
the 66 system that anthological theory uses, but we, as previously established, are very bad at maths.
Can't do maths.
Just can't.
Why
Just
doesn't
can't do it.
So basically, like the tweet said, you just take an NPC. So I made a list if you can't think of an NPC. And you can roll on there and, grab baker or washerwoman or whatever. And then you roll on 2 other prompt lists. One to generate an adventurer who's come into the tavern you're sitting in. And another to generate a kind of kernel idea of the story, to give you a kind of prompt. And then basically you get a minute to tell the most elaborate, wild, ridiculous story about how this adventurer crashed in, ruined whatever, blah, blah, blah. And you go around the table and each person embellishes or disputes the story. Just for 1 minute. I don't want it to get too long. And then you vote whoever had the best story. And the rest of the players around the table buy that NPC a drink. And it's kind of like whoever gets the most drinks wins. It's just a storytelling, improvisation, fun little play once or twice and then move on to the next thing sort of game.
The best
So-
drinking game.
It would
Exactly,
be a really
yeah.
good.
So you could
drinking
totally play this in person if you wanted and make it a drinking game. So you have to buy
game. You
rounds for
absolutely
people.
cannot play this in person during the apocalypse that we are currently experiencing, though.
Yeah, we're not advocating that.
If
Do
we
not
all-
break
if-
lockdown.
I'm
if
sitting
we
here
all
with my...
lived in one
Yeah.
fabulous Direcast house, as we so wish to do, in the Dire
Yeah.
Castle, then we would be able to sit
Oh.
around our feast table with our drinking horns and play all of our games. Oh, this sounds really nice, guys. So, as previously mentioned, my name is Lukey, and this week's question is, which background NPC are you? And I know exactly who I am. It's not from a game, but in You know, in Jurassic World, there's that bit where like all the dinosaurs get out and people are running madly, and there's one dude who is running with 2 margaritas in his hands.
Oh, yep.
That's me.
Oh my god.
That's me.
Oh, you just gave me the best thought. I was gonna say, can I go next?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm H, and I was gonna say the little urchin on the street who knows too much in like D&D or something, but actually I'm gonna say the guy who is running in Star Wars with an ice cream maker, and that people dress up as.
Wilbur Hood.
Thank you. That guy. He's the
He's
best.
fun.
Prioritize your ice cream maker, guys.
As far as stock NPCs goes, I'm Jacob, and I would either be like an irritating hotel concierge, just like really annoying. Is there anything I can help you with, sir? Just annoyingly attentive, like during a heist movie or something.
Yeah.
Or I would be a very fresh-faced sage of some kind.
I've just got out of Sage School.
Hi, I'm Helen. If I was a generic NPC, I would want to be one of the people, like, when you have a romance film and, like, the leads are jogging in the park in the sun, I want to be one of those people sitting on the bench feeding the ducks.
Aww.
Like
a sad
I
old
like
woman.
that, yeah.
Alright, what is this game and how do we play it? And what are numbers? And how do dice work?
Yeah, so we need to sort out the numbers thing, I think, before we do this. So what was the... how about just 2d10s, and then we'll try and make up 100 prompts of each, and we just deal with the fact we haven't got
And you
100.
find another D10.
I mean, or we could do what I've been doing is D50, which is a D100, halve it, and then we've just got like 5 stray prompts at the end, which we're not going to get round to this time.
Yes, that works. Alright, what did everyone roll?
I got
I'll roll
16.
Shepherd.
So I'm the town guard, I am. I'm going
I was
for a
originally
Cornish
an
accent.
invalid, but I don't feel comfortable with that, so I re-rolled and I got farmhand.
Or...
Okay, fair enough. I got musician.
Ooh, you're like the tavern
You're-
musician you are. I'm
You're the
going
tavern
Cornish.
bard.
Yeah. Yeah, but probably not the bard, because that's a play. I'm just like, in the back in the triangle. I don't know. It seems too adjacent to a player character, so I might actually remove that
Well,
one from
this
the
is a
list.
playtest, is what it's for.
83, that was not a number we have. 22. I'm a retired person. Excellent.
Retired from what? We'll never know.
Retired from industry.
Retired from being tired.
Tired again, you mean? Retired.
Or...
Alright, and then we need to roll initiative.
And it's jokes like that that make me want to drown my sorrows.
Right. Well, we're here in the bar, so order yourself a nice pint of ale, and if you tell me a good enough story tonight, I might get one for you.
I'll take that up. Let's see. Let's see what strange types are passing through here.
Are we doing
Oh, quick.
initiative?
Initiative first. So
Roll.
everyone just roll one of your d10s, and the lowest number...
We'll
Goes
go
first.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, I got a 10.
5.
Oh, God, that was all at once. Who?
Jacob, what did you get?
I got an 8.
I got a 5. H?
I got a 3. Oh, no, I'm first.
You're first.
Oh, okay. So I'll take one. I'll halve one of these d10s, I think, right? And then that can be the decimals. So
Yeah.
so an adventurer walks into the bar. 34. So
Which is a 17.
wait, what? Oh no! Oh,
Unless
what?
you already halved it.
I halved what? What were you?
Oh,
halving?
did you halve 68?
So I halved the 6, and then I just
Oh,
took
yeah,
the
sure.
4.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
God, we're
Right.
bad
Okay.
at
I
maths.
was like, what's going on? My numbers.
What
are
is
changing.
happening?
What did I just say? 34. Okay.
Why can none of us do numbers?
A very damp woman in very fine leathers with a similarly soggy wolf.
Oh, that sounds like my first ever D&D character.
Aww. And then I'll roll in the story prompts as well and do the same thing and half my black dice. So that's a 66, so that's 36, I'll say again. I think I got 30.
Oh, pause for a second.
Yeah.
Do we give our characters names, or do they not get names?
Oh, they can have names if they want, yeah.
I think we do like an introduction. According to the rules that H wrote for their own game.
Well,
introduce your character if you'd like.
Introductions are probably a good idea, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, I'm Jeremy. I used to work down the mines and now I sit here drinking ale and other things and telling my stories. That's me.
Fantastic.
Hi, I'm Ted. I work at old John's farm. And I definitely am old enough for ale.
Ted is clearly 12 years old.
Love it, love it, love it, love it.
I'm Simon, and I'm a shepherd, and I chase sheep round the hills all day on top of the mine.
That's why I got a headache.
And that means I'm sometimes had a couple close run-ins with funny stuff out on the edge, and I've no fondness for wolves.
He says as a wolf walks in.
Alright, well, I've just seen a very soggy woman walk into the bar with a wolf.
Loki.
Loki!
I know, I'm just
God
trying to
damn
think
it,
of a
I forgot
name.
Loki. Loki, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think of a name.
Top of your head.
There you go, Anna.
No. Hey up, my name's Gertie. The name's Gertie. I'm one of the guards. One of the guards here in town. No, that's not the accent I'm going for. Hold on. I just need to get into it. You know it's a real Cornish pasty because it's 2 foot long. And if you drop it down a mine shaft, it don't break. Alright, got it. My name's Gertie. I work as a guard at the town. And I'm just here after a long day of walking up and down the walls, watching out for strange things happening and then being upstaged by adventurers. Come to have a drink.
Oh, you know what they say? There's brave town's guard and there's old town's guard, and there ain't no brave old town's guard. So,
Oh,
obviously,
you can say that again.
there's brave town's guard and there's
no,
old
no.
town's guard. There's no such thing as brave old town's guard.
Excellent. Alright,
So-
well,
Hey up.
Yeah, look at that wolf.
very
Look at that wolf
damn,
on
I
her.
can smell it from here.
Oh, that's a shaggy dog. I think the wolf does like one of those shake, 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 shake.
Oh, I got a bit of
No,
that
Oh,
in
it's
my
so
ear.
wet.
Oi.
It's dry outside.
It is, isn't it?
How they get so wet? Do you think they swam across the moat?
Oh, well,
They'd have piranhas on them, wouldn't they?
that's an old wives' tale. It's a giant jellyfish in the moat.
There's no piranha, no piranhas in the moat. It's
Yes,
just
there
one.
are. I
It's,
saw some.
Yeah, it's just crocodiles.
I saw a piranha.
Exactly. It's one of the
It's croco piranhas.
When's the last time any
it's
of
just
yous
what
tried
it
to
is
swim in the
it's
moat?
just a couple years ago one of Mattin's sheep fell in and got
Well,
That's not how I heard it.
You see, the thing was that we're in charge of feeding the crocodiles. Obviously, what happened was we tried to feed them some piranhas because we had a good deal on them down at down at Harold the Fishmonger's. But the problem was they were still.
I know there's a piranha.
They were
because
still
little
alive.
Timmy lost his finger after he stuck his finger in the moat, and it weren't no crocodile.
Yeah, well, you see, what happened was the crocodiles and the piranhas, they kind of joined forces, and
So
they
there
bred
are
with each other,
piranhas.
and now there are crocopiranhas.
I don't think
Crocoriranhas.
that's what we call joining forces, but alright.
Jeremy Jeremy learned the hard way that it's not a good idea to sell food that bites back.
I'm
No.
Jeremy.
Yeah, it was Harold.
Did
Harold
you,
is the
Jeremy?
fishmonger.
Harold the
Gerald's
fishmonger.
the
That's the
fishmonger.
one.
Little
Well-
Timmy is the boy who lost the finger.
Yeah, well, you see, the crocoriranhas, oh, they're terrible, them things. They got the teeth of a piranha and the body of a crocodile.
That's just a crocodile.
No, it's
With
definitely
interest in
piranha teeth.
dentistry. Try saying that 5 times. I'll try and say that 5 times once I've got 5 more points down me.
Hey, anyway, didn't you have a prompt for this woman who just walked
Yeah,
in
I was
the
gonna
bar?
say we just
I
ran
needed
with
it anymore.
wet.
No, we haven't said anything about her.
That's all it took.
It's the challenge on this game is for us to stop
Try
just
to
spinning
stay
out.
on topic.
Yeah. Right, so the prompt I generated was, did they are... birds?
Sorry? H is broken. Can you go and restart them, Helen?
There's only so many times I can tell them the history of the town. Which is not the most exciting one,
Ooh.
I think. No?
Well, I think there's
You
something
could,
in there.
you could do something. Let's see you do something with this.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, I'm regretting this game already.
Right, so you have 1 minute, right? So I'm going to put a timer on.
All right, I'm gonna go. So, that soggy lady, I saw one just like her a couple of years ago. Soggy. Also had a big wet dog. Possibly could be the same one. I don't know. Adventurers, they never age. They just drink, magic juice or whatever. And she kept coming up to me because I was old then. I've always been old. I was born old. And asking me. Oh crap, I'm running out of time to tell my story. Fuck.
Keep going.
I don't know what I'm doing. She kept asking me about the town and the history of the town. And basically we built it 10 years ago because the last one got knocked away by a flood. And she was like, no it didn't. And I'm like, yes it did. And my accent's changing. And she was like, no it didn't. And I'm like, well, yes it did. And then she came back and she was wet. And she was like, yes it did. And I was like, that makes no sense. And she was like, well, I went to check. But I didn't believe her anyway.
Is
so
that time?
yeah, about time.
Yeah, 7 seconds left. 4, 3,
It's okay.
2,
Stop.
1.
No hesitation, repetition, or
That's what it felt like. Oh
Extrapolation?
god. So
So then we all do our take on that story.
yeah.
We all have a minute each to either add, embellish it or dispute it.
Yeah, so you have the same prompts, but you do not have to agree with my story. But like, no. That's something else happened with that, and that wasn't a lady with a wolf, that was a soggy cat. And I don't believe you're telling the truth for a second there. Like, whatever you feel like, yeah. Or you can say,
Or
yes,
even
exactly,
like,
and
no, you're not
elaborate.
right, because I saw that woman that you talked to, like, last week, and,
Yeah, exactly. So, next was Helen, right?
Oh, yes.
So, should I get a timer on for you?
Embellish.
Yep.
Timer.
Right,
1 min, and...
Go. Well, I don't think that's right, because I was talking to old John, and old John was talking to Miss Partridge, and Miss Partridge was talking to little Ben, and little Ben was talking to Aunt Sue, and Aunt Sue said that she saw a guy who said he saw a guy who said she saw a wolf with a woman. And that woman weren't nowhere near anywhere flooded. I don't know how long I have left for thought.
You've got ages. You've got another 30 seconds.
And so I reckon that this woman's a different woman, and the one before wolves, because there's wolves all over the place, ain't there? Like, it's like Simon was saying, there's just wolves everywhere. So I reckon that was a different woman with a different wolf, or maybe no wolf, maybe you just saw another wolf. And this woman is a different wolf, because this woman's wet. So yeah.
Well, you got 10 seconds left to 5 seconds left to just.
And that's why
no.
I reckon that we should all get cinnamon buns later.
Your time is up.
Oh, from Steve the Baker's, you mean? Oh, I could go for a cinnamon bun.
You're not wrong about there being loads of wolves in these hills. To add to your point, young person who's definitely old enough to drink. Ted, I'm not sure if you know this, but around about the time the mine closed, we also shut up the quarry because that was getting flooded as well. And there's been there's a few nights ago there was some.
Jeremy still works there.
Oi, no
Oh, he's
interrupting.
retired.
I'm retired. Stop interrupting.
And there was a the point is there was a lot of owling around the time of the full moon a few nights ago, and so everyone decided to stay well clear. But wolves and flooded quarry, and I wonder if this woman and that is something to do with that. Just make sure, keep an eye on them around about the time the next full moon comes along, and
Yeah.
keep a silver baton to hand.
And you're at time.
I always have my
Fantastic.
silver daggers to hand.
Or a silver slingshot in my case, but
Wait, hang on. Is the sling silver or is the missile, the projectile?
The sling,
silver?
obviously.
Completely. I've got a silver thread, but a perfectly normal rock which I'm throwing at the werewolf. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I don't know. You do some odd things, my friend.
Aye.
All right,
Well-
then. What do you think happened then,
Well,
Gertie?
you see, here's the thing: is you're not really correct about the town flooding. Well, the town did flood 10 years ago, and of course it filled with crocodiles and piranhas and piranhadiles and crocorinas.
Aye.
But the flood went away, and all we did was we lifted all the buildings up a few feet, which is why we got all these steps everywhere now, and we've got a few sort of canals with
do hate the steps.
with gondolas in them. So yeah, that is true that the town flooded, but we didn't rebuild it. We just sort of repositioned it, as
Which
it
means
were.
that no woman could have seen it.
Well,
Mm.
I mean, I'm a woman and I saws it, so I don't think that's correct. But the point, the point being, all she would have had to do is go along to the municipal buildings or the local city museum and read up on it. So maybe she just didn't believe that we'd flooded because we ain't flooded now. And I
Maybe
think
she
that's
couldn't
probably what
read.
happened. Maybe she can't read. Maybe her wolf reads for her. I've met a lot of reading wolves before now.
Aye.
We ain't
they're a
never met a
clever
reading
breed.
wolf.
Right,
Well,
we
you
at time.
You asked him?
I mean, I've got to ask because I was out on a visit to the big city at the time when the flood came along.
Aye.
Did anyone crocodile-proof the gondolas?
No, why
Because
would
I
we need
feel
to
like that
crocodile
could have
proof
caused
the
a few
gondolas?
issues.
Well, no, but you know
Crocodiles
you
live in
know
the
what you risk when you get on a gondola in Crocodile Town.
I know. It just feels like a bit of an oversight, people being a bit cavalier.
Well, it wasn't a swamp lagoon 10 years ago. We said that.
Well, it was next to a swamp lagoon full of killing creatures 10 years ago, but we did add some of the creatures, like the crocorinas.
Well, we didn't add them. They just kind of did their thing.
Oh, we definitely added the piranhas.
Well, we added the
You said
piranhas
there
and the
weren't no
crocorinas
piranhas.
happened. I said there were crocorinas.
I was overruled, all right. Now my reality has reasserted itself. That's how it works.
Alright, alright.
Anyway, what we
So-
really don't want is the wolves getting in chummy with the crocodiles, because then we'll have crocowolves to be dealing with.
Crocowolveranas.
Now that's something hard to say.
No, that's just the local the summer music festival
I
Crocowolferana.
thought that was the band what played.
Well,
nice
it's
band.
named after the
Couple of
founding
banjos.
band.
Alright.
Gasp! What's this? A mid-roll? Yes, it's a mid-roll. I'm not sure what you expected. Hey, have you ever heard of Frontier Station? No? Neither had I. But they're Matt's band, so you should totally check them out. They do folky Americana, music-y stuff, and Matt plays all the things he plays. So if you like our backing tracks, or even the music that we have for this particular game, which is from a different band that Matt was in because he's an overachiever, go check them out. Frontier Station. You can find them wherever you find music: YouTube, Spotify, in your head. And yeah, they have an EP out now and a new single, and everything is cool and awesome, so go check them out. And now, back to gaming.
So do we all vote? We all vote
Yeah.
for who to buy a drink.
I think so. I think that would be nice to do. I quite like Timmy's. You know, Ted.
Who's
whatever he's
Timmy?
called.
I
little
like
guy.
Ted.
Little Timmy got his finger bitten off. I'm Ted.
Oh, sorry. He said a lot of names of people
It
what
was
I know.
well corroborated because there was a lot of people involved, and we all know
Exactly.
the more people the story goes through, the more true it is.
Absolutely. He said names. and
Best
I like
justice
names.
is mob justice. That's the way of us town folk.
Aye. So I vote Ted. A
Ted,
drink for
what
the
kind
child.
of a drink would you like? A nice
Glass of milk.
Ale.
Vodka.
Ale.
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 Ale for the boy.
Appetizer.
an ale for the 12-year-old, please. Hubert.
I'm definitely old enough.
All right.
Yeah, well, in this town, if you can drink, you're old enough for ale. I remember when my voice dropped.
Right, so I'm next on the list, aren't I?
Yeah, it's Ted next. Come on, Ted, tell us a story.
And the Grand Victor.
A human child in spiked armour dragging a mole.
Friend of yours.
Nice.
And the story prompt is they turned into a horse.
Excellent. Are you ready? Shall I get the timer up?
All right, let's go.
Ready, steady, and so tell us, Ted, what happened?
Oh, all right. So you see that kid over there? His name's Dirty Liam, and he's called that, right? Because he's already pretty dirty. You can see the mole he's carrying around, looks half his size. Now he's got this like genetic thing, right? Which means that he hasn't grown, but he's actually a like full-grown super magician, and I know this because I saw him turn into a horse. Like, we were out by the botanical gardens, right? And I was picking someone up for old John for the farm. And there he was, Liam. And we'd had a little gander. And then he went to walk away. And I turned around to pick up my packet and turned back. And he turned into a horse. And, like, he couldn't have run away. He's got far too much armour. So it must have been him turning into the horse. And when I said, "Hey, that you, Liam?" the horse nodded. So he turned into a horse and he just trotted off. Real weird.
That was Liam,
But
was
yeah.
it? Liam.
Liam.
Dirty
Yeah.
Liam.
Dirty Liam.
Dirty Liam. All right.
Dirty Liam.
Dirty Liam with a spiked armor and a massive maul. Fantastic.
Always
Alright.
smelled bad.
All right. Well, what do you think then, guys?
I mean, I think it's me next.
Yes,
I think it is.
Simon next. I mean, the way. I mean, couple things there. The way I heard it is that the way I heard it, yeah, sure. Liam's got this kind of growth deficiency thing, but he's not a big wizard. He's just he's just a mean guy with a maul. And if anyone says he's not a wizard, he hits them with the maul and the spiked armor. And also, there's meant to have been this really vindictive witch woman moved in the old cottage a few half a mile up the road. So I wonder, there's a couple things I wonder here. A, did he turn into a horse, or was he turned? And also, yeah, I mean, that's what I got, frankly. Yeah, so clearly, he's not just dirty in body; he's dirty in soul as well. It's plenty
don't matter.
easy for him to
End
kick
of
up.
the day, he turned into a horse. Like I said.
Oh, he's obviously turned back now, because there he is at the bar giving us dirty looks, and I'm not going to be walking home alone tonight.
And
It's
you're at
alright,
time.
I'll walk you home.
There we go.
I got my spear. Now, I think, I know the truth of this one, because I
Alright.
know Dirty Liam of old, because we came up together, we did. Because like you say, he's not as young as he looks, he's as old as me, and I'm as old as a question about how old I am. Now, here's the thing. He ain't a wizard, but he does turn into an horse, and you know how he turns into an horse? Well,
No.
when we was young, we went and we threw rocks at that witch's cottage, and ooh, was she angry, but the thing is, I run faster than him, so I got away. And he got caught, and what she did was she cursed him, and every time he sneezes, he turns into an horse. So if he sneezes, he'll turn into an horse, and then he has to sneeze to turn back, but the problem is, horses, they don't sneeze very easy. Or maybe they do, I can't remember. I'm not an horse expert, I'm a guard and piranha dial expert. Point being, if he sneezes right now, we'll be in a world of trouble. Because the armour doesn't change with him, so it all pops off him, and then there's spikes everywhere, and that's just ridiculous. And honestly, he's banned from most bars in town, but I think he's hoping that the proprietor doesn't recognise him on account of
And
the
you're
fact
at
that...
time. That was freaking amazing. Oh, Gertie. I
Yes,
don't think I
Jeremy?
can. I don't think I can top that. See, I was there thinking that. I'm gonna press the start on my timer. I was sitting there thinking that ain't Liam at all. I thought that was Jodie. You know, little Jodie. Like that's actually a
Little
kid under
Jodie?
there. She's just wearing big boots so she can try and order ale. It's just like Ted. That's what she's doing.
Hey!
Oh, well, you
And
don't
she's
have to...
probably taken Liam's maul. And as for the turning into a horse thing, well, I was here 34 years ago when I was an old man. And because I was an old man, they came up to me and they said, "Hey, do you know where we can get a horse?" And I said, "No, but there's a witch that lives in that there shed over there. And she might be able to turn one of you into a horse." And they're like, "That's hilarious." And they went over there. And then, well, they came back with a horse. But there was definitely one person down. So I'm assuming that went well for them. So I don't know if that lends to your story or not, but I don't think that's Liam at all. I don't know this Liam. I've been here for 74 million years. I think that's Jodie. Look at her.
But I
Look, can you see a
talked to Liam.
pigtail coming out under there?
Men
Liam-
can have pigtails.
Liam has a ponytail, obviously.
Yeah, well.
Well, but the thing is, why would little Jodie be pretending to be an adult to get ale? You don't have to be an adult to get ale. We serve it to anyone around here.
That's a very good point.
I've been drinking ale since I've been weaned off my mother's teat.
And on that, I'm out of time, so I think I just cannot hope to compete.
Sorry, stole some of your time
That's
there.
quite all right. I'd run out of
My
things to
drink
say.
is going to Gertie. Just
I feel like the winner was
Gertie, absolutely.
Thank you.
absolutely.
100%.
Thank you.
That was
100%
brilliant.
Gertie.
Why, thank
Gertie
you.
gets extra drinks.
Gertie gets a drink. All right, I think it's,
It's
Simon's turn to tell a story.
Aye. What does Simon say?
Eh.
Aye.
Simon says, "Shut up and listen."
Alright. I like we've gone back to our roots at Exeter. We've all gone like southern, you know.
We have. Well, no, I've gone Cornish. We are. We're all getting very extra.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Look, you've overshot.
You've gone too far.
Well, no, because I like Cornwall.
Well, that's doesn't matter where you like it. It's still where it is, you know.
Well,
Oh, yeah, what you get? What you get?
Look, boys.
Who's that?
There's a dwarven fella.
All right.
No trousers on.
Oh my God!
Oh,
look
no, we
look
can
away,
see
Ted.
everything.
Avert your eyes. Avert your eyes.
he's seen worse.
Actually, to be fair, he's got no trousers on and he's in a skirt, which probably means funny thing. Dwarves.
Why did you not say that?
Dwarf women have beards as well. So that's very human centric of us. And for Mr.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have a magnificent beard. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Why
there
are you
we go.
covering my eyes?
Oh,
Just a
sorry.
dwarf
Sorry.
woman.
I'll take your hand off.
It was very pretty. It was. I did kind of prank you. Let's be honest.
When you said trousers, I
okay.
feared for my life.
Okay, my cabbages. Sorry, that was involuntary.
Yay!
Yes. My favourite prompt.
Okay.
I'm so happy.
All right. Someone got my time?
Oh, 1 second to get the seconds. And go.
Oh, right. So you will not believe this. So when I'm not up on the fields, when I'm not up on the hillside tending the sheep, I got my cabbages growing because it's nice and easy. I am close to the other side, which has some of its risks. One of them is that I was just woken up in the morning, getting ready to tend to the yard, and I look out, and some buggers dug a hole in my cabbages. And I go looking around a bit, and I go, the hole's a bit deep, so I light a light and I shine it down, and I'm like, my cabbages! And then I chase, and then there's a light pokes up, and it's this bloody dwarven fella with no trousers, and a head of cabbage. He's gagging for it. Reference.
No.
And I think that's my story. Honestly, I don't know how I'm doing for time.
You got 10
Or-
seconds.
No, I don't. I'm conceding. I am folding.
Excellent.
Call it what you will.
I gotta say, Simon, it's funny you should mention that. Yeah, so funny you mentioned the dwarf person. We don't know their gender, of course, but the dwarf person in a skirt gagging for your cabbages, because I have a little garden out front of my little cottage, and I have some cabbages there, and wouldn't you know it, a hole appeared underneath my cabbages too. And I looked down, and there was a dwarf, and I think it was that dwarf right there. And then I think she's been stealing cabbages all around town and selling them in the market, because you know what? I've seen my cabbages being sold in the market, I think I have, but not by this particular dwarf. I think she's got a middleman going on who she's selling them to. I think she's
So we got
taken...
brassica burglars.
Underground.
We got brassica burglars. It's the underground,
underground
cabbage
smuggling ring.
railroad.
Oh God, was anyone timing her?
No,
Yeah,
but
she
that
got,
doesn't
like,
matter
17
because I'm...
seconds left.
Oh, good.
Well, the point is people are stealing my cabbages, and I'm very upset about it because I like my cabbage soup in the morning. It helps me fart.
Tis important to get out the gas.
You got 5 seconds. And...
All right.
You are
We've
welcome.
resorted to that. I love it.
I was
Direcast at our
farting.
finest. I know you were. That was a good one. Nice trumping.
Thank you. I won the county Trump Fest
Oh, I
last year.
remember.
As
Aye,
you know.
that's true. You're the best
Which in
drummer.
And
fact means you were the top Trump.
I got that beautiful cabbage-shaped trophy. I did. It's a beautiful thing, and if anyone ever steals it from me, I'll never forgive them.
Alright.
Kitty.
Is it real
What do
gold?
you reckon, Jeremy?
Oh,
No,
me?
it's made of wood.
Well, is it my turn to reckon? You reckon? Is that what you've been
It's your
reckoning?
turn to reckon. I reckon.
Well then, I suppose I'll start reckoning about now then. I reckon that dwarf without no trousers on, with that nice like is it red? My eyes on what they used to be. Red skirt on, nice checks, bit of tartan, light bit of tartan. No, I don't know about your cabbages. I don't have cabbages myself. I worked in a mine. I don't know what to do with the sunshine. I hear that's involved in growing plants. It's just not really my thing. But I was in town buying cabbages because I do need to eat, and that's pretty much all they sell around here because everyone seems to bloody grow cabbages and that's all they grow. And there was that bloody dwarf charging through town. This is about 30 years ago at least, with a massive axe, skirt flying everywhere, petals coming out of her beard, and just going absolutely ham. And who's coming across the street? It's Sid. It's Sid with his cabbages, and he's looking happy as anything. He's got his big cabbage harvest, beautiful green round size of me head, trundling on, and I say, Sid, and he goes, hello, and I go, no, Sid, behind you, and he goes, oh, I'm not falling for that one again, and I go, no, Sid, and then it was horrible. There was sauerkraut for days, but we're picking rubble out of it. It was a nightmare.
That's your time. Well, I'm sorry to have to be. Right, well, come around. Come here, closer. No, closer.
Oh.
You two sound right.
All right.
You know, being fooled.
Really?
I don't know what that accent went to.
Do tell. We might find out.
You see, you talked about how that there dwarf over there. I don't know what that dwarf did 30 plus years ago with like some random stools or whatever. But ain't no dwarf been stealing your cabbages. Little Georgie, Miss Partridge's boy. He'd been coming around and trying to sell off some cabbages to old John at the farm. And
Well,
old
they
John
fall
was
off the
like,
back of the
where you
wagon.
been getting these? And he'd been like, oh yeah, I was growing them myself in my own garden. But Miss Partridge says they ain't got no garden. And he had a fake beard. I saw it last week. He was like, yeah, I'm going to be playing dress up for a school play, but there ain't no school play because school's out. Because you stop going to school when you learn enough, and he ain't been going for a couple of years now.
Oh, aye.
But yeah, so it ain't no dwarf that's been stealing your cabbages. It's little Georgie.
Oh.
Only don't tell him I told you.
All right.
I'll be taking
You're
my
about
paddle
time.
to him, I will.
All right. Well, I don't know
I'll be
about that.
speaking with his mother.
I quite like your story about your cabbages and your roll,
I quite want to give that one to
Thanks.
Jeremy.
I want to
Me?
give it to Jeremy as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah, I think
flatter
it was
me,
very
guys.
good.
I was gonna go for Ted.
Look behind you, I'm not pulling that again.
Us,
That
the
was
old
great.
ones are the best. Oh, thank you very much. Well, I'll have a. You know what? I'll go for an ale.
I think it's my turn, so I need to look at my
Aye.
list. Where's my list, my lovers?
I ain't your
Okay.
lover. You're far too young for me, Gertie. Oh, I could dream. An old man
you
could dream.
Flatter yourself. Oh, I've got a wizard in a pointy hat with a wand.
Okay.
Is that
I
white
don't know how you got that on a
beard
D10.
real? Well, I rolled a
He
1
must be very
and
tiny.
a 10. So actually,
How many wizards could dance on the face of a dice?
hold on, I rolled a 1 and a 10, so actually that's 11.
I'm a surprisingly
Oh, that's
well-educated
better.
shepherd.
I got a large, bold man with 3 glittery cats hanging off his shoulders.
Oh, nice.
And then my prompt is, you see that fella over there? They broke into my house, smashed all my pots and left. So, you see that fella over there, that bald man with the 3 glittery cats hanging off his shoulders? You will not
Oh, aye.
believe what he did. I was just sitting around calmly in my house, knitting, polishing my sword, thinking about my cabbages and how delicious they were going to be until they were stolen.
All at once?
All at once, I'm a great multitasker. Anyway, I was doing that, and then suddenly this fella comes in with his cats in tow, and he walks
Aye.
around my house, cool as a cucumber. I say, hello, young man, what do you want? This is a place of residence, and it's a private property. And he says, nothing to worry about, old woman. Oh, so rude. And then he just starts swinging cats and smashing all my pots. And I said, excuse me, what are you doing? And he said, I'm looking for treasure. And I said, there ain't no treasure in there. Look, you spilled beans all over my floor, you ridiculous codger. And then he started going through the beans, saying that there must be rubies in there. I said, if I had rubies, do you think I'd been sitting in this little old cottage and working on the barricades with the crocораnas, you idiot? Anyway, I gave him a good whooping, and I took one of his cats, so now he has 3 instead of 4.
Nice.
What you doing
That
to
was
cat?
beautiful.
So I got a glittery cat. Her name is Precious.
All right. Well, who's after you, Gertie? Is it me?
You.
I think it might be you.
Well, let me take a long
Yeah,
draft of
Jeremy.
this ale, because this is a long story, so I better pack it into a minute.
It's a whole story in a minute.
So, I was sitting in my house. Oh.
As you often do.
As I often do. It's so nice to be indoors, the sun, after you've mined underneath the ground for many years, the sun just burns your eyeballs away, it's just too bright, you can't be dealing with it. And I was sitting in my house, and this man, with his 3 cats, comes in. And he had 3 cats, so maybe this was the second house he'd been into. And he starts
well,
smashing
we do
my
live next
pots.
to each other.
And that was it. You've said it all, Gertie. I've got nothing to add. Fuck.
Anything
I have
about
something
your
interesting to-
pots?
There's not much to add to this one. My accent's changing as I go. Fuck.
You say anything to him, Jeremy?
No,
You challenge him?
no. I just watched him. My pots are full of.
I mean, did he
rubble.
seem particularly, antagonistic towards your
No, he's
your
pretty
pottery?
antagonistic towards my pots. Yeah, it's very nice to me though.
Alright,
Did
Oh,
you
it's like,
find
I was like,
your
don't mind me,
Yeah.
die pottery.
Yeah. It's like, excuse me, smash. Excuse me, smash. That's about it.
Did he
Anyway.
look like he'd recently had a walloping on the behind?
Hard to tell. I tried to avert my gaze, really.
You know if someone's been walloped on the behind by me.
He did have an air about him. Well, has anyone
No.
else got a more interesting story? I think I've had a few too many of these already.
It's alright, Jeremy. They can't all be winners.
No, I know. If I'm perfectly honest, it didn't happen at all. I was just copying your story, Gertie. I ain't never seen that man before in my life.
Jeremy, are you feeling alright? Are you alright in your little cottage on your own?
Of course I'm alright, Gertie. I've got my
Do you need
coal.
us to check in on you more?
I've got my coal to talk to. I don't need anything else.
You know it's not alive, right?
Ted, I believe it's your turn.
Aye, it is, and I've got a real tale for you.
Or?
Oh,
See,
do tell.
that cat you got there, that's a real mouser. I don't know, I reckon because he's from, like, those Eastlands, or, I don't know what his accent is. I reckon that because he's in, like, he's from, like, those Eastlands, you know, when they get all the, like,
Irish.
dry grain, and in the dry grain, I don't know what his accent has gone to.
Oh, it's
Oh,
hard.
Well, you went
And in
American for a minute there.
And in this dry grain land, I saw, I've entirely lost this. It was like,
Ted, are you secretly a cowboy? You
Let me
have to
pause
tell
your
us if you're
timer.
secretly a cowboy.
Get it together, Tim. Get it together, Ted.
Otherwise, it's
I've
entrapment.
got a brand new combine harvester.
I'll give you the key.
Alright, so, I was with, alright, you got a regular little mouser with you do's. Because, you see, this big old man, he comes over to old John's farm and he's like, hey, I heard you got a problem with them rubies. And old John was like, what you talking about? I ain't got no rubies. If I had rubies, you reckon I'd be sitting in this farm with my little little farmhand, Ted. Hey, Ted, you hear this guy? He's got rubies. What a laugh. And I was like, yeah, you ain't got no rubies. Thing is, when he said rubies, he meant moises. And then he set his cats after all the pots, and he was like burrowing through all the pots and smashing them up, trying to find mices. And he found a good 6 mices in old John's farm, in old John's barn. He did.
It's not that
So I
surprising.
reckon-
There always be mices in barns.
Yeah, but this guy, he ain't no smashing pots for nothing. He's a mouser.
All right, I think you talked for long
Yeah.
enough there, Ted.
Are you suggesting he's some kind of freelance and exterminator who doesn't need to be engaged to do his job and also requires no pay and breaks
Some
into
people do
people's
the things
houses?
for the love of them.
I mean, isn't that basically most adventurers when you think about it?
I mean, I guess I got a good mousing cat out of it, which is summit. Perseus here is very good at mousing.
You brought your cat to the bar. Let's see.
Well, obviously, yeah, and she pretty, and she
Oh,
glittery.
she a beauty.
Takes the pet like a champ.
I
Sorry.
know, or
Went Australian. I don't know why. Help! Fuck! I'm
Take the
stuck in
pet
my
like a
Australian. Oh no! Why?
Perseus here. Don't know what that one was.
It's another one of those. It's another one of those genre relocation areas.
Oh my god.
They got new writers in for the season.
Anyway, I think it's Simon's turn to talk about this fella.
Yeah, go on then. Tell us what you're thinking, Simon.
All right. So,
Welcome,
tell me when my time starts.
All right. Well, it can start whenever you like, so that can be now.
Okay, so there's I think with these glittery cats is that they are not really what you call cats. See, I heard from a woman wandering by with a suspiciously dry wolf the other day that there's actually a secret war going on under our very noses, and there are gem cats. They have little bits of glitter in their fur because they're from somewhere else, and they have a long-standing war against the clay people who come and dig them out of their warrens and skill them to sell the glitter. You know, glittery fur is real good in some markets. So they have a bit of an adverse reaction when they see pottery. You know, traumatic associations and all that. So sometimes they kind of go off on one. So I don't know about you, Gertie, but I'd start considering I don't know, just like dressing all your pots up in canvas or something. So your new pet don't wise up. Yeah,
Well, I have been thinking of making the switch to wicker baskets, so maybe I should do that.
That might work
Much
as well.
better for the environment, I hear.
No, I think so, yeah.
All right. Well,
You're out of time.
yeah, you are out of time.
Well, there we go then.
Should we decide? I think I definitely won that one with my perfect replication of Gertie's story, minus any of the details or charm. But I quite like a Simon's addition to the tale. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I mean, I ain't never heard about no secret war before.
No,
Yeah,
it's
good, it's a
Perseus,
secret,
did
you
you
see.
know about this? Yes, mistress. I hadn't had the heart to tell you yet, but I'm engaged in a secret war between the gem cats and the
I mean, it's
evil
nice that you're agreeing with
excavators.
me, Gertie, but they also don't speak.
Well, this one
Oh,
just
Gertie,
did!
You've got a talking cat. And
Oh,
it's a proper
well.
good mouser.
Alright, well, I don't care about that. I'm getting you an ale. Regular, large, sour, extra dirt.
Sorry, was that to me?
Yeah, aye.
Oh, I like the refreshing feel of a good dirt after a hard day's work, so go for that one.
Alright,
Good dirt ale.
be right back.
Perseus, would you like some milk? Yes, I would love some.
Hi, H here. We had a bit more discussion after we finished the game about how to improve it, but unfortunately we lost some of the recording, so I'm here to give you a quick summary of what we talked about. A few of us found it quite difficult coming up with a whole story in just a minute and making it engaging and entertaining, myself very much included, but ultimately we decided that adding more prompts probably wasn't the way forwards, because it would add more complications and more things to include in your minute, which is already a very short amount of time. So what we decided instead is maybe to add a bit of world building at the beginning, because we ended up doing that naturally and talking for quite a long while about crocopiranas, and that was really fun, and it leads you into the game nice and organically. You make up a couple of things about the village, and then you can have a base to tell your stories from. I think I would have found that a lot easier. So I'm going to include that into the version we're going to publish, which should be up soon, and we'll also sort out the numbering issues, which I guess were probably quite funny to listen to, but don't worry, you won't have to do weird maths. You can just use 100-sided dice, I promise. Thanks for listening, and if you enjoyed it, or you didn't like it, or you have any really good ideas about improving it, you can tweet me. I'm H. I'm at Folkpersons on Twitter, or you can send us an email via the website. That's www.direcast.com. See you next week.
Did you enjoy that, listeners? We hope so. Let us know on Twitter and Facebook what you thought of NPCs. We'd really love to hear. Next week, we're getting into the winter holiday spirit with The Fight Before Christmas, so be sure to tune in next Friday for the start of another hilarious and heartfelt adventure. But until then, thank you for listening to Direcast. If you'd like to keep up to date with episodes and announcements, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Direcast and on Instagram at DirecastPod, and subscribe to us on your favourite podcatcher. And hey, if you enjoyed listening to us, maybe consider giving us a rating or review, or sharing us with a friend. We'd really love that. This week, Direcast was Lukey Slim, Jacob War, Helen, and H Folkmans. Matt George Lovett and Peter Wellman will return for next week's episode. Our logo and banner art are by H Folkmans, who also edited this episode. The Direcast theme is composed and performed by Matt George Lovett, and this episode's theme music was Factory Floor by Destar Disco. Check them out on Facebook and Spotify for great tunes and crazy costumes. This week we were playing NPCs by our very own H Folkmans. NPCs is still in its draft stage and needs some more tinkering before it's available to the public, but we'll let you know as soon as it's ready for release. And, at least for this week, that's how the die are cast.